Hello, streaming to you live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is Whacky Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. And let's talk about how to reset and regenerate. And the reason why I'm bringing it up, somebody asked me yesterday, I want to learn more about this. So, let's talk about it. Exercise. A lot of us know that exercise is beneficial. But many of us don't know, or many of you probably may not know, that exercise can reset and regenerate about 78 known DNA genes. And this is one of the reasons why people on the outside, when they go to the gym and they're active, they look, generally speaking, younger. They look good. And that has a lot to do with because resistance training, exercise, whether it's working on a farm or working in a gym, my gym right here, or playing professional sports or whatever, has a positive influence on the reset and regeneration of those 78 known genes. However, when there are several thousand more genes that are inside the body, they can go untouched. So, what is the trigger, if you want to call it, to reset and regenerate the balance of those several thousand genes? Because the trigger for the 78 is going to be activity, and predominantly resistance training of some sort. Phil, are you watching? And when you consistently do this, you're setting yourself up for success, especially for those 78. However, where most people fail is with the balance of those several thousand genes. And many don't know what the trigger is for that. And in previous live streams, I've talked about how and what you can do. And it also depends on where you live. Because if you live where I live, which is in Alberta, in Canada, just recently we passed by the winter solstice on the calendar. And that means that it is the shortest day of the year for sunlight. Many don't know that the trigger for the balance of the several thousand genes is light. And so when you live where I live, is there a consequence for being up here? There is. And it's not being able to get that trigger. So how do I offset that? Well, I'm going to show you this thing right here. It's called the X39. And I want to play a little clip that comes from the horse's mouth that describes a little bit about it. And that clip is here. The man that you see on screen, his name is David Schmidt. He is the inventor of this. Let's hear what he has to say.
I started the research on X39 in 2008.
Wow.
And this was long before doctors ever started using it. It had been discovered by Dr. Lauren Picard around 1970 or so. And Dr. Picard should win a Nobel Prize for this work because it's probably the most powerful peptide in the human body, which declines with age, that's responsible for resetting several thousand genes back to a more youthful state. We compare that to something like resveratrol, which resets two genes, the sirtuin genes, back to a more youthful state. Exercise, I know you like to exercise, so resistance training, that's going to reset about 78 genes back to a more youthful state. So when we consider we can apply light to the body in the form of a patch, and it doesn't really take any time, and it's going to reset thousands of genes, that's something well worth looking at.
I mean, that right there, combined with it takes 10 seconds and it works.
Right.
Those last two sentences
Right.
alone. But that goes with practicing what you preach. How, I mean, you're telling me how you want to have products that are working 10, 20 years from now. You got to be ahead of the curve. And that just shows that you actually were. It's not just like saying, like, I hope, I want to. Like,
Right.
It shows that proof of concept. So here's one of the challenges that I see that you guys have navigated. So I want to hear how. Like, I love these interviews because I'm genuinely always curious.
So, hearing those words from the horse's mouth, validates the claim that is being made, and I agree with what David's is saying, because I, for one, have been resetting and regenerating those 78 genes for many years now. However, yet I still have experienced a decline in my youth, my strength, my energy levels, and it happened over time. Since I began implementing the X39 into my lifestyle, which began in April 2025, last year, the benefits that I have experienced from the use of the X39, in combination with what I call the cleanest and most absorbable water, has been very telling for me, largely because of the changes in how I feel when I do the resistance training exercise. And I say this because I'm not a, how would you say, a soft individual when it comes to pushing my body to force change. Meaning that if I'm going to do resistance training exercise, I'm going to make sure that I make the muscle feel something. And that something is the micro tears that you initiate in the muscle. So that way it's forcing a change. And when you do this over time, then you begin to reap the benefits. But if your body loses its spark, if you want to call it, to reset and regenerate, then that's where the longevity piece suffers from. And this is why I talk about the X39 being the spark. Much like if you have a campfire, you have you need a fuel for the campfire, and you need a spark in order to have the campfire burn. And so when you provide that spark, then you have the fire. And I connect this with the fire inside the body, if you want to call it that. Because we can provide the fuel. You eat, you drink, that's the fuel. But what's the spark to make it burn? Well, that spark is what I call your bioenergy. And when you unlock it with this, then you reap the benefits of resetting and regenerating the balance of those several thousand genes. Now, one must always remember that you need to have the proper fuel for it. It's one thing to have the spark, because you can have the sunlight. If you live close to the equator, you can have all the sunlight every day, and lots of it. And generally speaking, do people who reside or live near the equator live longer and better lives? Generally speaking, the answer is yes. And that has a lot to do with activating the several thousand genes inside the body. But if you live farther away from the equator, then you're in a situation where you might need to use something like this. That's where it becomes a benefit. But when you combine it with what I call the cleanest and most absorbable water, that is deuterium free, meaning no, it's not D2O, it's H2O, then you're providing the real fuel source for your body. And that's when I added that back in 2021, I started to reap the benefits from that. And now it's been officially almost 4 years to the day that I experienced a change that I had never seen before, which was having a heart rate over 200 for the very first time. And I attribute that to, one, drinking the cleanest and most absorbable, because it has such a pronounced effect on your blood quality, especially when blood is known to be 94% water. And your body's going to take whatever source of hydrogen that you provide to it. And hydrogen is in everything. It's even in amino acids. You look at any of them. Look at the chemical formula of an amino acid. It's going to have carbon, it's going to have hydrogen, it's going to have some nitrogen, and perhaps some oxygen as well. Within the amino acid, one molecule of an amino acid. So what does your body do? It's going to break it apart. And for those who know a thing or two about nitrogen, well, if you want to put on muscle mass, you got to be nitrogen positive, generally speaking. That's what an amino acid is. You're getting the nitrogen. And if you're neither positive or negative with nitrogen, well, then you're not going to lose or gain weight, muscle weight, if you're doing resistance training. And if you're negative, then the likelihood of losing weight is there. But the other key piece is also the hydrogen that needs to be floating around inside your body. And if it is the cleanest and most absorbable version of it, and you have oxygen floating around, then guess what? Is your body going to resynthesize the nitrogen that you provide by way of the amino acids? I ask this question because I only eat one meal a day, but yet somehow, some way, I'm still putting on muscle. Because I can see it, I can feel it. One meal a day. I'm not consuming over 100 grams worth of protein. Eating 6 times a day? No. Far from it. But yet, I'm able to show you in the live streams each and every single day what I'm capable of doing with, if it's with the rope, the jump rope, or with the resistance bands, or free weights. I'm a big fan of using the vibration plate to activate time under tension and muscle activation inside the body. It's from my point of view, you can do type 1 and type 2 exercises, but then when you add the third one, which is the the vibration while you're in the motion, and then you're doing both, that's another element that's very important, in my opinion, in maximizing the longevity, but also the activation for hypertrophy, to force a change. So am I essentially accelerating that 78 genes? I think so. And the techniques that I'm showing you, I'm doing them all here. I teach you. So if you're interested, share this with your friends. Or if you have people that want to increase their muscle density and strength, you can do it. Mix it. And only thing that I add, that only thing that I ask for your support is to make a purchase of X39 and feel the benefits. Those benefits that you see on the screen, improve your mental clarity. You can experience rapid pain relief and reduced inflammation. You can have improved skin appearance. I'm 49 years old. You can tell I've got a little bit of white here. I'm kind of keeping an eye to see if my hair color here is going to change from white to, I don't know, copper color or something. I'm keeping a close eye on it. So pay attention, follow. See if you see the changes. I even have some older photos that, if you look on LinkedIn, on my profile, you can see a photo there where I look kind of old. But do I look old here live? Another benefit that I talk about is the enhanced sports performance. So when I experience heart rates in the 200s, it's because I'm really actually pushing myself. Last week, 3 out of 4 days of skipping was over 200. And is that an anomaly? It's not. And is it part of feeling the benefits of increased energy and vitality? Sure is. How about faster recovery from exercise? Is that something you wish for? Or from any kind of activity? Are there benefits from that? I'll tell you firsthand. At my age now, the way I put myself through the paces and how I feel, it's significantly different. And I wouldn't be able to do what I do each and every day live right here on Facebook to demonstrate to you that what I say is actually legitimate. So if you're really curious and are willing to put your money where your mouth is, scan the QR code. There's lots of people that say, oh, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Especially exercise. But not everybody does. But what about something like this that can fit into your lifestyle? All you need to do is put it on like a Band-Aid. Like this. Like, it doesn't get any easier than that. Oh, but it costs this. It costs a little bit of this. So, is it easy? No. Because you have to trade something. And are you willing to trade this for longevity? And any of the benefits that you see on the screen. Are you really willing to trade for that? If you're ready to put your money where your mouth is, it's time. As you see on the screen, right there. So, with that, today's workout. So, I've got my heart rate monitor, which I've been using now for a long time. This is the Scosh Rhythm Plus, made by Valencell. So I'll show you. This is the sensor. Actually, that light flashes 25 times per second, believe it or not. It's that fast. And I've measured it with the high-speed camera, so that's how I know. Now, the metronome that you see on the screen right here, that I'm going to set at a tempo of 144. So that's the tempo I'm going to skip at. And the timer I'm going to set, you're going to see here. All right, so tick, 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 tick. And meanwhile, I'm going to turn on the heart rate monitor so you can see my heart rate as I'm doing the activity. So for the first 6.5 minutes, I'm going to skip with the tempo, and then for the balance of the 9-minute warm-up, which will be 2.5 minutes, that's where I'm going to increase the intensity and go from double unders to regular bounce, back double unders, regular bounce, so 8 and 8. That's the sequence. So, can you keep up with me? Today is leg day, and then after you'll see I'll be doing the list of exercises that you see on the bottom of the screen, which is right there, right here. And follow along. Let's begin. So today I'm using a beaded rope. This is by Buddy Lee. I like this one here. Now let's begin. And in the background, you could probably hear the noise of water dropping, or the sound of water dropping. That is because I'm actually making more deuterium-free 114-degree molecular bonding with water. I had a cup earlier before coming down into my basement. Normally I drink one while I'm presenting. This is a straddle. It's kind of interesting I'm saying 144 on the screen. Ha! hard to keep the hands crossed in that pace, the tempo. Because you essentially have to spin the rope reverse direction. It's kind of like swinging it backwards instead of forward. So we're getting close to a minute left in the low intensity portion of this warm up. Alright, so 30 seconds left. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So as you can see, I just hit over 200. And that is a normal / regular occurrence for me. And as you can see where I wear the heart rate monitor, it's on the top part of the forearm. So I know it reads correctly, so when you see it on screen, it's legitimate. So all right, so minute and a half in, my heart rate has more or less stabilized to what it was during the 6.5 minutes. At that pace, you can tell that I could sustain 144 or 145 heart rate for a long time and not feel much with it. So, okay. So I'm going to switch back to the heart metronome, and I'm going to reduce the tempo to 60 beats per minute, so basically each second. And what that will do is help me manage my reps correctly. So I've got my band and 2x4 here with a piece of plywood configured, ready to go. I'm going to start with, I said TKE squats. So I've got this band here, and I have a total of, this is 13 times 4, so 52 pounds worth of resistance. And what I'm going to do is step into, get this guy ready first. I'm going to do what's called a TKE, so so I'm going to do it this way. Here we go. The reason why I'm doing it this way is that I'm going to step into the band like this and put it on my knees. And step away. So you see here how the band is. I'm going to be pulling the band away from the wall. And I've got my band here. So this I can basically yeah, there we go. Just setting that up. Now, there we go. That's the rep I want. That's the TKE. And let's begin. So, with the 2x4 here, I have a little bit of a raised heel off the vibration plate. So here I'm with the TKE, it's pulling my knees forward is what I want. And then extend them so I can switch back and forth with this as a slow negative now. The vibration, I can widen my feet a little bit to get a bigger vibration amplitude. All the way down, down, now up. Halfway down, half rep. Go a little bit more this time. Hold it here isometrically, half rep up. Slow negative down. Back up. Oh, it stings. Now go lower. Press out. Slow down here, hold it. 2, 3, 4. Press out. Oh. Hold down here. Up. Here we go. You can switch between type 1 motion to explosive, type 2, combining the vibration, and you have a stellar 1, 2, and 3 type variations. Force the muscle to respond. I can feel the glutes now a little bit. If you lean more forwards, more glutes. I'm more upright, quads. So you can make this into a real full, almost a full leg workout, with the exception of the hamstrings. All right, next is hip thruster. So that's where I'm going to turn around. I have to do it this way. Out. What I'm going to do is actually flip this upside down and then step into it. So hip thruster, now I'm going to face away from the wall, and this is going to pull my hips towards. Actually, it's going to be too wobbly. I should have done the first one that way. Okay, so here I go. Yeah, I feel lots of tension. And I feel the tension at this point because... So, for this one I'm going to actually have a wider stance and point my knees, have them on the outside of my torso. Now, press up and hip thrust out. So it's kind of like doing a kettlebell swing, but adding the vibration as part of it. So all the way down, up. A slow negative. And then up. Half rep. I can feel the calves or the quads now. Hold it here. Press out. When you have the resistance here, oh. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Press out. Gosh. Oh. slow negative. And by having my ankles off having my heels off the plate when they're lifted with the 2x4, means I'm going more straight up. So, not involving the glutes too much. Ha. Down. Holding it here, partial. Oh, wow. Okay. This is all the way down. You can see there's slack on the bands. Now that I've got this flipped around. Half rep. Here we go down. Another full down. One more rep. Here we go. All right. Feels good. Very good, actually. Next exercise is going to be what I call unstable bridges. And I'm going to switch things up today because I've never shown this before. I'm going to change the position of the vibration plate. And I'm going to take this exercise ball and place it on the opposite edge. So here, but on that side. Kind of that position. And then take your heels and put it on the ball. So what this is going to do is create a really unstable platform. Alright, so here we go, the bridge. Oh yeah. And then curl it like this. Hold it. So this is really quite different. Having the exercise ball, it wobbles really weird. Like you're on a boat that's got ripples that are going like crazy. Or wakes that are moving like crazy. For all those people who like to call it that. So here I can feel the glutes now are really pulling on the lower back, which for a posterior type exercises is really good. And then you add the stabilization. Oh wow. I'm sliding a bit. Okay, here we go. Now move it back. So when I'm full, so here halfway, knees are up. Can't feel the vibration that much because of where the ball is. It's in the center of the vibration plate. When I curl it, so it removes the. Oh wow, the hamstrings are still involved here. So I would call this an unstable ball bridge. Wow. This is really, really good. There's no amount of hand taps that a trainer can give you to match this, because of the intensity in which the amplitude is from the vibration. It's really strong, and it's consistent. So here I'm holding it not at full extension, not at full bridge, lowering it down. Huh. Wow. Oh, those hamstrings are really, and the glutes, they're getting involved to stabilize here. So for a calisthenic style workout or movement, this is really, really, really good. Oh, wow. And I only do this for 3 minutes. Oh, I have to. Relax. Oh, wow. Okay. So, that is that guy. Next one here is hamstring curls. So, that's where I'm going to put the ball aside. I'm going to grab a towel, same one that I used 2 days ago on Monday. And I'm going to put this towel like this here. Turn the vibration plate this way. This is an approximate distance from the wall, and what I'm going to do is use this and step into it this way. So instead of anchoring each foot independently to its own band, I'm just using the double anchor here. Okay, I need a little bit farther, just a little bit. So I have slack on the band. Okay, and I'm looking specifically the bottom one. All right, so now hamstring curls. So by pointing the feet forward or towards the ceiling, pointing my toes towards the ceiling, it changes the feeling that I get dynamically with this movement. Okay. So here I'm holding it isometrically. So basically forcing the glutes and the hamstrings, or hamstrings, forcing the hamstrings to do the job. The glutes kind of get involved, but not as much as like they did in the last exercise. So here, focusing just on the other half of the movement that the hamstrings initiate. So here is at the top. So this is where the ball bridges doesn't really focus on. This here, so I'm getting the full range of motion. Alright, this is actually a good sequence. I like this actually. Getting 2 exercises each for more or less the muscle group. So the quads, and then the glutes. So kind of 3 and 3. The posterior, the glutes, and the quads. And I say 3 because I did the TKE, and that's getting the range of motion. Oh my. Wow. trying different movements, slow reps, accelerated reps for the type 2. All right. Next up is tibia. So that's where I'm going to take the flip around here. Oh gosh. Okay. This is where I'm going to switch to the ankle straps for the tibia, because this is a movement that I can switch quickly, versus I don't have to take my shoes off to do the hamstring curls. But normally I would. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to take this, now a red band on the top, and attach, and I'm going to use more or less almost the same weight as I did just now for the hamstrings. Oh, wrong one. I don't want to crisscross these guys too much. So, I'm going to take my shoe, put them on this way. Yes, okay. I need to, whoops, put this vibration plate closer. Readjust this here. All right. Okay. Oh. Fix this. I'm going to put it on the lower. Pulling them off my feet. So fix that like that, and do it this way. Oh, really? Sorry for the time wasting. So by doing this way, now what you're going to do is lift your toes away from the wall. So, like this here. Okay. Increasing the amplitude. You can really feel the tibia activating. You can feel it. Surprisingly, it's quite pronounced when you're. So doing this here really strengthens those muscle fibers there. Can help with your landings if you're jumping. So normally it would be an explosive type movement, but here this turns it into a type 1 with much greater muscle activation, muscle fiber activation. Whew. Oh yeah. So now I'm pointing my toes like this towards the camera. Away now. As if I'm standing on my tippy toes. Now just pulling it back, 5%, 10%. Now 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, now 100, hold, release. Oh. Wow. This is a very good exercise for the tibia. I would say it's probably one of the best, in my opinion, because you can't create this with any machine. Well, a regular cable machine, you can't do it. Especially under tension. And because the amplitude is being created by the vibration plate, oh, it feels good. All right, last but not least, I'm going to switch back to calf raises. Use this here. That's where I'm going to grab the band that I used before. This time I'm going to flip it around. So have the 2x4 in front of me, and that way it creates a natural step like you're walking up and down the stairs. And then lower your heels to the plywood and raise them up under tension and with vibration. And again, this, in my opinion, is unmatched. Now, here we go. Heels off the 2x4 or off the plywood. I'm holding it with resistance, lowering my heels. Now it's touching the plywood. You can hear them tapping. Now explode up. Hold at full, standing on your tippy toes. Release. Back up. Release. Down. Try not to bend your knees. Allow your feet to take the ball of your foot, take the vibration. That way it activates more of your calf when you kind of lock your knee. And it feels safe, believe it or not. Really quite well. It feels quite good. Because I don't feel any knocking in the kneecap from the vibration. So there's no compression that's happening there. So for anybody that says, oh, this is not good because of your knee, try it. Prove me wrong. Because I don't feel it. Nor will you. If you use the same technique that I'm using right now. Mind you, the 2x4 is attached to the piece of plywood. And so that way, and when I step on the edge of the 2x4, it's not rolling like this. It stays put. So it becomes a really stable step on the vibration plate itself. That's what makes this so good. Especially when you add the resistance from that of the bands. There's hardly any extra weight on the vibration plate itself, so you can load this up if you really wanted to, no problem. And then you can change the position of your toes in correlation to your torso, so your heels can be more closer to your glutes, if you want to call it that. So you get more of a wide or a duck foot type of contraction. And doing that in the fly or on the fly. All right, that's 3 minutes. So that's it for today's workout. So kind of hit my goal to get always less than 45. So I'm stopping the timer, as you see here. I'm just going to turn this metronome off. And let's have a look. I haven't looked at the maximum heart rate number yet. So today's date, January 21st, 2026. Starting time was at 1:06 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And, okay. Maximum heart rate that I hit today was 201. And I was in that heart rate zone hard from 185 to 206 for 1 minute and 18 seconds. So you'll see here, I'll zoom in. So 185 to 206, and that was the time, which is 3% of the entire recording was in that heart rate zone. And so it's hard to say. Yeah, I don't think I was over 200 for the entire time. If I was, then I probably would have hit, you know, the next range, which would have been 207 to 218. That's my maximum heart rate range for me, because this application recalculated or recalibrated itself. So this heart rate range, so for the majority of the time, you can see my heart rate was here in between 60 to 140 beats per minute. And if there was a 6 zone, then it would be lower than 60, because my heart rate when I sleep goes down to 42. So that's normal for me. And if any doctor out there says that my heart rate is too low and I need a pacemaker, well then, you're trying to make money off of somebody who's stupid, and that ain't me. So here's my heart rate. You can see during the the warm up, and my heart rate just dropped, even though I maintained the tempo of 144. So that's kind of interesting, thinking about that. And then here during the all-out blitz, so 150, 200 mark there, and then back right down and stayed below 100 for the duration. Wow, of the workout. Pretty good if you ask me. And I attribute the results that you see by wearing this. It's really, really, really good. And it fits into my lifestyle right here. Easy to wear, and costs about a coffee a day. So right there, or right here, scan right there. Start today and join me in the free workouts right here on Facebook, streamed live 6 days a week. So tomorrow will be Thirsty Thursday, and it'll be shoulders, rotator, and traps. So tune in tomorrow for another episode with yours truly, and power your workouts with the best right there. See you.